Welcome to the Seattle International Film Festival. My name is Dustin Casper. I am the Educational Programs Coordinator and a programmer with the festival, and it is my delight to welcome you to Alice Upside Down.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. So we're here. We came all the way from Los Angeles, and we're here to answer questions. For those of you who don't know, this is actually a series of books. There's actually 23 of them about this young girl named Alice, and it takes her from when she's 9 until she's 17. Actually, she's going to take her until she's 60. They're still being made. So this series was written by this author named Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. When I did the adaptation, actually had tried to use a lot of latitude because there were so many books, and dramatically I felt we had to have a little more, something more substantial than most. It was incorporating a number of books and then adding some things and trying to make it a little more dramatic so it felt more like a film. So Phyllis, who wrote the books, did see the film. She is very happy, but thank you for asking the question.
Well, and I'm wondering something, casting-wise. You know, in sitting down and writing this, you obviously have an actress who needs to be in literally every scene of the film. And did you always have Alyson in mind when you were writing it, or was it kind of a happy find that?
No, I didn't know Alyson.
Okay.
I didn't. You know, my daughter knows Alyson, but I didn't know Alyson. Alyson came in, and Alyson read for us. And actually, when she came in, I don't think I ever told you this, but you came in and she was really like dressed up, and Alice, as you see, is kind of frumpy and kind of a little shy, and I'm going, how is it? I can't have this beautiful girl. It's going to be unbelievable that people are going to feel sorry for her. And she came in and read, but you know, the one thing we did, actually, we had her do the first little monologue where she's talking to the camera, and there was something about Alice doing that. I mean, the thing about this film is there's not a lot of action, and really what the film is about this little girl, and my sense was that the one thing I had to have was I had to have a little girl who could just sit there, and it didn't matter that there wasn't a lot of story or there were a lot of events happening, but you had to like this girl so much that you just had to sit there and say, I just want to see what happens with this girl and what this girl is thinking and doing. And, you know, her little monologue to camera actually, you know, whatever doubts I had about her, kind of, she has, you know, to her credit, I mean, she's a wonderful actress, and she has a certain kind of charisma that I wanted to see, and that's was, you know, the main reason I cast her. And she is fabulous in the film, isn't she?
Yeah. What was it like kissing Patrick? Was that the question?
It was a lot of fun. No, you mean her.
Actually, luckily that wasn't my first on-screen kiss, so I had a little bit of preparation. You know, I kissed Dylan and Cole in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, so I had the whole blonde boy down, you know. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was exciting, and we had the hair and makeup people coaching us and preparing us and trying to keep us from not getting too nervous because, as you know, your first kiss is very special. So I was in character though, so you know, I wasn't thinking about it. I was Alice, right?
And actually, the little in the outtakes that you see at the end, the little peppermint thing is something that she and Dylan came up with, just to break the tension. Yes, actually, we shot that movie about a year and a half ago, and she's grown. You know.
Yeah, we can't seem to stop her from growing. It's really frustrating.
So yes, she is younger. I imagine in a year and a half you'll look a little bigger too. I love shooting this movie. It was a great, you know. I have a daughter who's exactly the same age. She's actually in Miss Plotkin's class as an extra, although she wasn't. She was like, Dad, you put me in the mean teacher's class. Anyway, the fact that my daughter was able to enjoy the film, and I really, you know, sincerely believe that we were trying to do something of value for kids and for family, and so it's a meaningful picture for me. And then working with talented people like I had a chance to work with was great fun. So it was actually a wonderful experience. You can speak to that, young lady.
Yes. I also really enjoyed it because it was my first lead role in a film, so I got a chance to branch out and try more dramatic scenes. Usually my character doesn't have such an arc, and in this I was in every scene, so there was an arc within each scene and within the whole movie. It took a lot more thinking and thought process, and I put my heart and soul into it, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. My favorite scene to film was probably the dramatic scene where my father and I are talking about, missing my mom, because it was my first chance to really prove to everyone watching that, hey, look, I'm a girl, I can cry.
Well, she says it's her favorite scene, but I have to say, this was the scene you were most worried about. I mean,
well, and it was challenging, and that's why I enjoyed seeing the result.
That day, actually, Alyson was really focused. She actually learned her lines that day, and but she really we knew this was the crux of the film dramatically, and we both knew it was an important scene, and she was very focused, and she did.
I deliver?
She were amazing, and why don't you tell the people? I mean, this is a question we often get asked: is how she actually got herself to cry, and I think it's a great story.
Well, some actresses choose to use fake tears, or they'll have the makeup artist give them a little almost incentive and have, a mint something underneath their eye that produces the tears, and then they can work off of that. But I chose to do the real thing, and I thought usually there's more connection between the audience and the character if you're genuine about it. And so what I did was I imagined myself holding the hands, one being my mom and one being myself, and I imagined that it was the last time I'd ever get to hold my mom's hand. So that really got me emotional, obviously, because my mom's been there supporting me through everything, and without her I would not be in existence. So that's how I got myself emotional, and that's how I cried. This was probably my favorite film because, like I said, I got to branch out and try new things. The other ones were more comedic, like Cheaper by the Dozen didn't take much preparation because I got paid to be funny and joke around. And this one, there was a lot more background, and I also had to portray a character that was already developed in a series of books. So I had to make sure that, people were getting what they wanted. So I loved the challenge, and it's probably my favorite, yes. I actually sang the opening title song of the movie, and that was me singing without too much auto-tune, I hope. And it was also me singing badly, so I can carry and cannot carry a tune. I went to a convention called IMTA, which is International Modeling and Talent Association, and various agents and managers scope out new talent, and they saw potential in me and gave me the opportunity to move to LA for a couple weeks here and there and commute from my hometown to LA. And once I proved my potential and had a little bit of success, they said, you really need to be out here. And we did it. My family relocated, and after auditioning, I'm starting to finally make my way. But it takes a while.
Hey, can I ask one final
Sure.
question? Penny Marshall and Luke Perry got involved in the film. What brought them to the material? Was it something that the script? Was it What,
me. They love me.
Was it Sandy Tung?
No. They actually both have, well, in case of Luke Perry, he has children, and Penny Marshall has a grandchild. And I think they were both, interested in doing something that they thought was of value, and they could show their children and grandchildren. And we were very fortunate to have them because they were very, very good. So.
Great. Well, I agree. It is something of value, and I thank you both for being here with us today. I think one more round of applause is absolutely in order.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sandy and Alyson.